The Lost Halls, the new endgame dungeon that beats all of them, is now released since a few days and it's going crazy. In some cases, crazy wrong. This is a guide that will help you with completing the Lost Halls with the least risk to die. But don't forget, even if you know the dangers, you can still die in them in no time. So always be careful. Do not go into this dungeon with the expectation to always survive, because you won't. Before we get into the layout of important moments of clearing, I want to talk about the enemies in there. The Crusade is a group consisting of a few different kind of enemies, but the enemy that gives the most danger is the Commander. He can instantly kill you, but can be stunned, plus has quite a bit of health, so be careful of him. Whenever you see a Crusade, fall back and take care of them, as they are the most lethal enemies in the dungeon. These batch of enemies must be prioritized. The Orcs Infantry is another group of enemies, a group of swordmen and armor-bearers surrounding an enemy in the middle. These enemies are relatively harmless. Upon damaging the enemy directly in the middle, it spawns an Admiral. This enemy will be mostly referred as Infiltrator, as they directly charge into the group, making it hard to see them and very easy to pop you. But fear not, they can be paralyzed. So make sure to look at the minimap. The red dot of the enemies still appears over the yellow dot of the allies. Slimes are decently harmless, they mainly debuff you. These enemies are the biggest threats to a rogue, as they quiet and uncloak you. Rats and Bats is a group of enemies that will swarm you. They paralyze you, confuse you, pet status you and give you bleeding. Not to mention they swarm and charge at an incredible speeds. Alone you have no chance, in a group they are fairly easy. But don't get armor broken by the golems or you will instantly die without even the chance to nexus to them. Golems are called out as they have a decently high aggro range and can leak into rooms very easily. It's important to handle them quickly as they can potentially be very dangerous. Especially the orange golem can instantly kill you no matter what you are on. Now to the Spectral Century. Wait. Not the Spectral Century. We call him Spooky Boy because he's spooky. Spooky Boy spawns instead of a random group of enemies at a very low rate. Upon seeing a player, it will instantly fire a non-stop flurry of multicolored shots. After his first attack, he will despawn after around 2 minutes. Run away from him once you see him. You will either want to run in circles if you have 4 connected rooms that go into the circle, or get him stuck behind a wall. Do not check for him if you get him stuck. Just wait 2 minutes. I've seen several people taking a little peek, and thanks to that they dragged him on other players and even killing players. That's just stupid and will get you kicked out of any proper Lost Halls group. In a really bad situation you can also try to keep him away with a trickster. Now to the dungeon layout. The amount of rooms to the boss is at least 20. People speculate it to be 21 rooms. One important note is that there are tons of sub-branches, also known as splits. But if there is 3 rooms in a row without any split, it means that it is the right way to the boss. This is a rule that has been proven. Make sure to be careful to not get too close around corners. You never know what might be hiding there, especially Crusaders like to lurk there. Also make sure not to split away from the group. You might drag something from the back into the group. This is devastating and can kill several people. Doing this will also probably result in you being kicked out of the raid group that exists, so be careful. Once you found the boss room, you can break the walls and enter it. After the entering, the walls behind will close off. For the boss guide, you can check out Spencer's guide on it. Either click on the bubble that is appearing now, or check out the description for a link for his video. Now that the way to the boss has been explained, there is also another boss that is there. Let's explain it very simple first before we get into detail. Find the 5 flames and bring them to the treasure room. How to do this? Simple. Find the rooms with the pots. There are 2 ways to find them. Either find them randomly or find the treasure room and bring 1 soul into the treasure room. Once you bring a soul into the treasure room, you will be able to see the location of the pot rooms on the minimap. If you have found a treasure room and a proper setup group, you can try breadcrumbing. As the name implies, every time you pass a room, 1 player of the group will split off and stay in the cleared room. The Lost Halls is set up that the enemies respawn every 2 minutes, but if you stay in the room, they will obviously not respawn in it. Like this, you can make a way to the pot rooms containing the flames without worrying on how to fight your way back. Once you brought the 5 flames to the treasure room, you can kill the guard very quickly. Careful of his shots though, they hurt a lot, but with a big group it usually dies pretty fast. After you killed the guard, you can enter the cellar, also known as the occultist hideout. The cultist hideout is very simple. Teleporting is possible in there, so in theory you can rush it. But be careful, the 5 kinds of enemies are tricky if it's about rushing. They still shoot rogues if they're cloaked, like on any other character, so the cloak is completely being ignored. There are 5 different kind of enemies sorted by color and debuff they give. Their shots are very fast, make sure to keep your distance. Red, armor broken. Black, unstable. Yellow, paralyzed. Blue, slow. And white, quiet. Alone, they're weaker, but in a group they can pop you very quickly. Reaching the boss also doesn't take a very long time as they don't have too much health. The bosses might seem complicated but are very simple as well. There are 5 bosses, the colors are slightly changed but are generally the same. They are now red, armor broken, purple, unstable, orange, paralyzed, cyan, slow, and grey, slow as well. The fight overall is very simple. First, attack all 5 of them, until they move back to the circle. After that, they will spawn an enemy called Molech. He's pretty quick to kill, but be careful of his shotguns, they do a lot of damage. After that, you will have to attack the 5 bosses again. Once they get to the middle again, they will spawn Balaam. This is a little bit more tricky. After taking about 100,000 damage, he splits into 3 different enemies. Kill the Minotaur that shoots out the red shots first, as he is the most dangerous. A single shot does over 400 damage. Once you kill them, you can now attack the cultists again. But beware, make sure to not use a Doombow or a ASS while shooting now, because if you kill one instantly, they break and nothing happens. Bigger groups are advised to lower the damage output. Now once you brought them to low health again, you can do the final cultist. He will shoot different kind of attack but dies pretty quickly. This phase is the only one you can qualify your loot on. Upon his death, he will drop tops, 1 single guaranteed vial of darkness, and at the very low rate the necromancer sets in a white bag. But the drop you will be looking for the most will be the vial of darkness, because this is the item you will need to access the void. You want to see how it works and how to fight the void? Make sure to check out Spencer's video on how to do it. Just click the bubble or check out the link in the description. Thanks for watching.